Breaking news, the Philadelphia Eagles have just made a trade. The Philadelphia Eagles have traded Thomas Booker to the Oakland Raiders in exchange for cornerback Jakorian Bennett. Okay, breaking news, the trade just was announced probably about 15, 20 minutes ago. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles have traded one of their defensive tackles, a guy who played for the Philadelphia Eagles sparingly last year, right? But we know the Philadelphia Eagles are good at defensive tackle, right? It's going to be really, really hard to even get playing time, and it's going to be really, really hard to even make this roster, right? So a guy like Thomas Booker, was he realistically going to make this roster, right? You like what you're seeing out of Josh Uche. And even though Josh Uche plays on the outside and not the inside, right, how many defensive linemen are you going to keep, right? Do you want to keep Azeez Ojulari, so that you can have at least 4 pass rushers? We don't know what Antoine Powell-Ryland is going to be, right? And I haven't really heard too much from him during training camp, right? So apparently, maybe he's not giving the Philadelphia Eagles too much, right? But on defensive end, you got Nolan Smith, you got Jelix Hunt, you got Josh Uche, and you got Azeez Ojulari, right? And that's 4. Defensive tackle, you got Jordan Davis, you got Jalen Carter, you got Ty Robinson, and you got Moro Ojomo, right? That's 8, right? Do the Philadelphia Eagles want to keep 8 defensive linemen? Do the Philadelphia Eagles want to keep 9 defensive linemen? Where is the numbers game? Do they want to keep, maybe they want to keep Powell-Ryland. Maybe there's another player on the football team that they really like that they want to give a chance to be on the squad this year. And Thomas Booker just didn't fit in the mix of actually getting playing time. And what do the Philadelphia Eagles need? Well, they need cornerback depth, right? We need to figure out who's ready and who's willing to play this position. And obviously right now, Vic Fangio, from comments coming from training camp, from comments coming from reporters that have been at training camp, that second cornerback spot is up, right? It's up for grabs, whether it's Adoree Jackson, whether it's Keely Ringo, whether it's Eli Ricks, whether it's Mac Williams. I mean, it seems like Vic Fangio is letting anybody get a shot at playing cornerback right now, right? Who the best player will play, right? Now, this is a guy that they got from the Oakland Raiders. Did play with the team last year, right? He was drafted back in 2023, right? And at his combine, he ran a 4.340. So this is a 5'11", 195 pounds, right? So pretty good size cornerback, pretty nice, solid frame, and a guy that runs another 4.340, right? Now, I'm not sure what was going on with Oakland. I don't follow the team too much to figure out what the depth was, where he was at, who he was behind, and things like that, right? But this is a guy who potentially can come in and compete for a backup cornerback job, right? Hopefully not a starting cornerback job, because if the Philadelphia Eagles are bringing this guy in to compete for a starting cornerback job, then the cornerback position is even worse than we thought that it was, right? If Quinyon Mitchell traveling is not enough, then how bad is the cornerback play? Or do the Philadelphia Eagles just want to bring in more competition, right? Is this a guy who can play safety? I'm not even sure, right? Right now, the trade just happened, right? The Philadelphia Eagles have traded Thomas Booker, right? Defensive tackle Thomas Booker to the Oakland Commanders in exchange for Jakorian Bennett.